Hey, good morning everybody. Big Papa Port here. I am out for a walk in South Carolina. I want to show you something kind of cool. Max. I got Max with me. Y'all remember Max? I got Boomer with me. We're out here, what used to be the savannas back when I was a kid, and going for a little walk. I've got an impromptu video today, and I want to talk about that period of time, somewhere around month 2 to month 5 in my spinal fusion recovery. And the reason that I want to talk to you about this is because in the last week, I think I've talked to 7 different people, and they're all in the same boat, same time frame. And I think they're struggling. So let me talk to you a little bit about this real quick. Kind of let you know what I was going through, because they want to know, hey, where were you at? They'll tell me they're still in pain. They're worried about that. Maybe the doctor did something wrong. You know, maybe they did. I don't know. And everybody's situation is different, so I'll caveat everything right there. But I want to talk to you about where I was at months 2 to 5 as best as I remember, okay? So here we go. First off, now, you know, this is a do as I say, not as I do. Months 2 to 5, no cigars, no nicotine. I know, I'm an asshole, sorry. I did not smoke for 6 months, because that's what my doctor told me. He said, until you're fused, no smoking. At 6 months, I think he told me I could pick them back up again if I wanted to, although he advised not. So, for me, months 2 to 5 were a lot harder than months 1 and 2. And here's why. Not physically necessarily, but mentally. In my 1-year video, I know I talked about going through some depression. And that was that period of time. And here's why. So you're going into it, you're scared shitless. You have the surgery. You're probably still a little scared shitless, but you're in a lot of pain. You're on a lot of heavy drugs. You got a lot of support from the people that love you. It's new. When I woke up out of the bed, it was the first time I've been pain-free in 2 years. That pain comes back, but you're working, you're seeing some progress. You know, you get up, you walk around the floor the first time. Then you walk down the hall. You get home, maybe you go for a 2-minute walk, and then a 5-minute walk, and then 2 5-minute walks. And you're steadily building this momentum. It feels good. You see your doctor, they do the first set of x-rays. Hey, everything looks great. You got all this positive reinforcement around you. You've set yourself up for success. You've got some books. You've got, you know, I taught myself to whittle. I taught myself to write cursive. At the 2-month mark, you're probably back to work. I was. In your head, even though your doctor, everyone else, you know, people that actually know are telling you, hey, this is a 1-year recovery. You know, something I like to tell people is however long you think something should take, double it. If you think you should be walking a mile at 1 month, then plan on walking a mile at 2 months. If you think you should be pain-free at 2 months, well, plan on it being 4 or 5 or something like this. So here's the deal. Mentally, I was not prepared for months 2 to 5. I was still in pain. There's some people on here that, God love you, you took no more narcotics after day 5. That was not me. I took Percocet multiple times a day for my first month. I'm talking Percocet. They had me on a bunch of stuff. I was in pain. My hardware pain was horrific. I am glad I am not built for childbirth, and I consider myself a tough joker. The second month, so at 2 months, I was switched from Percocet to, I think it's called Norco, which I think is a generic version or maybe similar to Vicodin. I was on it. I did not take it every day. I had it as needed. There were some days I would go a couple days without taking it at all. There were some days that I would take 1, sometimes 2 a day. I don't remember ever taking more than 2 a day after 2 months. And then after about 90 days, I think I only took it maybe twice more. But I was still in pain. I had leg pain, the nerve rejuvenation or whatever they call it, going on in my leg. I still had all that going on. Like, that's when that was going on. And it wasn't that nerve pain, that shock that was so bad. It was this aching, dull pain. It drove me crazy. Had hardware pain. Hardware pain was a bitch at that point for me. I was back at work, so I was at a desk. I had moved, so I'd moved my computer off of my desk to the filing cabinet so I could stand up most of the time, and I'd sit down when I needed to. I kind of would move my keyboard back and forth. I was doing more. I was just on my feet a lot more. I couldn't just stop whenever I wanted to because I was back at work. I started doing physical therapy, so I was pushing myself more, using muscles that I really hadn't used in a while. Some muscles had been cut. I had pain. I would lay down on my back, on my floor, or, well, if I was at home, I'd lay on the bed, but I would lay on the floor at work. I told my boss, hey, I got to do this if you want me to work. So a couple times a day, when the pain would get bad, I would just lay down for 5 minutes. That became my breaks, laying right beside my desk, flat on my back, close my eyes, and just chill out for 4 or 5 minutes, and the pain would subside enough that I could go back to work. I wanted to be better. The people that were around me, they loved me. They supported me. They gave me a ton of support. But at least in my head, I felt like they wanted me to be better. They were tired of me. My kids were, I had this surgery. I was supposed to be able to throw football with them again and run and catch and have tickle fights and stuff, and I couldn't do that yet. I felt like my wife at the time, I felt like she was kind of over it, even though she never once said that. She never once let me slip or anything like that. She always supported me at that time, but I felt like she had had enough. So I felt like I was letting people down. I felt like I was letting myself down. I'd watch things that I'd done in the past. Your memories pop up on Facebook about running a triathlon or something like that. I mean, at least for me, for that. And I wanted that, and I wasn't anywhere near that. And I couldn't see it. And it got a little dark. I'm not gonna lie, it got a little dark. But I came out of it. Month 5 for me, as I recall, was kind of magical. I was starting to get my stride again. I was going on these long walks. So one of the things that I like to do, there's this book, The Stand by Stephen King. I read it back before I had surgery. One of my favorite Stephen King books. And if you never read it, I won't give it away. But there's this one main character. And at this one part in the book, it's probably about an eighth of the way into the book. He has been in a facility kind of locked up. And he's walking because you can't drive anywhere anymore. So he's just walking. And he's walking across Vermont. And he's been walking for days. And it starts to clear his head a little bit of all the BS. He notices he's losing a little bit of weight. His clothes are fitting a little bit looser. So whenever I get in a funk, I go for a walk. Well, at that point, somewhere month 4 or 5, I was walking a few miles a day, every day. That became my nightly ritual. And it was really good for me. So I hope you can find something to help take your mind off of it. But I just want you to know, 2 to 5, you're not better. You're just getting started. And I know that's hard to hear, but that's the truth. So be patient. Listen to your doctors. Above listening to me, listen to your doctors. Listen to your body. Push yourself a little bit, not too much, not too little. You will get there, all right? We're out here walking. It's all grown up right now, which is nice. Bugs aren't too bad this morning. It's humid, 100% humidity, probably about 85 degrees right now. But listen, I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. Give yourself a break. You've gone through, having this back surgery is worse than getting shot in a lot of ways, depending on where you get shot. Think about that. It's worse than most car crashes. Not only did you possibly break your back before, they broke your back and they put steel rods into it, screws. It's major. Give yourself a break. You're doing great. All right, y'all. Hey, by the way, I owe an apology. Not necessarily an apology, but I want to say to Viking and Iron Tiki. I haven't forgot about you. I said about a couple months ago, I was putting together this collab. And I had a Viking, I had Iron Tiki, had a couple other people send me some information. I had some stuff going on, and I had to put it aside, and then I had to travel for work, and I just haven't got to it yet. Haven't forgot about it, but I had to make it right when I do it. So I want to thank you for your submissions. That video will be coming. I don't know exactly when yet, but I haven't forgot about you, and I really do appreciate your support. Thank y'all.